So as per usual, let's see if I can set this up correctly the first time. Let me bring up the parameters panel. You guys know that I like to work in full stream. I need to do one more thing before starting, and that is to turn off VSync so I get a bit better performance. Yeah, it's definitely more snappier now. That's good. Okay, so let me bring up the parameters panel. Normally I choose tear off a pane copy and then I press Alt 9. I'm sorry, Alt 3, and I get parameters panel. And yeah, I normally work like that, and I hide the nodes. Sometimes I bring them up, but normally they're turned off. So the other thing that I usually do is I go into the main modeling node that has the main modeling subnet that has all the nodes. And yeah, maybe we can start working. See if the Twitch hasn't dropped, which seems like it's not. That's it can only be a good thing. So I think this one is it. Okay. I think we're good. Let's see. Check it out one more time. Okay, everything seems to be working. Okay. Okay, let's do it. If not, the string is being recorded, so I'm gonna upload it later to YouTube. So let me set up the viewports. This is how we like to work. And yeah, I don't have anything planned for this stream really. So maybe we can keep working on the head, or maybe we can switch to the hips. Maybe we can do that. So let's do, yeah, we can start working on the hip, detail that section a bit more before we end up in the head again and work on the head for the whole stream. So maybe the hip and the on the spine. Let's look at some reference to get warmed up. Recently, I found this reference that I think goes really well with the head. I think it's a similar design, actually. And I was thinking of making an inset like this, actually. I really like this detail. Maybe we're lacking something like that just to add more interest in that section. I also like the jawline. Maybe we can implement something a bit more like that. But that's gonna be for later. Now let me just if we can look really like this hip. Maybe we can do something similar. We definitely need some joint like this, so this thing can't rotate around. So maybe why don't we start by first turning off modeler, of course. There's another thing that I like to do sometimes, and that is to toggle the stow bars like this. The only downside is that the selections options disappear as well. But yeah, maybe we can do it like that. There's another tweak that I did for the stream, and that is that I make the fonts bigger. So because the string is 1080p, and I took a look at how it was looking in YouTube, and yeah, the font was really small. So yeah, maybe we can actually, let me do something first. I need to put this guy right here, and let's just move it this axis, make it even smaller, something like this, and let's put it here so that this is like a roller for the for the back, for the spine. So it's something like that. Definitely want to get into booleans in modeler. Need to practice that a little bit, but once we have the blockout for the robot ready, we're going to start adding a lot of details using booleans, and then eventually we're just gonna do basically like a knife pen tool stream, only fixing everything, fixing all the chaos. So we're gonna do this, and there is one thing that I need to do actually with the nodes, and that is to restart the mirror setup, which basically, as you guys have seen me do already, consists of me resetting this like this, and now we should have two joints. I don't know why that expression needs some refreshing every time we use it, but it's not a big deal. So another thing that we need to do once we set that up is to obviously cut things in half. So let's do that, and now we have our mirror. So that's good. I'm thinking of coloring this section. Maybe let's just a random color, and that's good. Another thing that we can do, I can just copy, paste, and Shift H with Shift. Oh, okay. Seems to be an issue. Let me see what's up. I don't know why Shift H is not working, but I think I know why actually. I'm gonna fix that later. Or maybe we can fix that now. I think there is a hotkey in Houdini that is bothering us, or maybe it's a hotkey in Modeler itself. So for those of you that don't know, basically edit the hotkeys of Modeler here. And if I put Shift H here, oh, I think I know the issue. Yeah, I did this mistake actually. This is my fault. So maybe I can remove this guy like this and put bridge connected. Let's look for it. Instead of Shift H, let's put it in. Let me see if I can do hotkeys. What happens if I put Control H here? Anything happen? Okay, there. Toggle field. This guy is taking all the shortcuts. This is really weird from Houdini actually. Sometimes the same function has the same shortcuts, but I think we can borrow some of this. So I think I can get rid of this. Let me apply it and actually save the file. So we can take Control H maybe and hope that nothing breaks. So let me choose do Control H for the bridge connected. And now I can do Shift H. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let's try that one more time. Shift H. Okay, maybe we're still having trouble with this. Shift H. Okay, now it's working. I don't know what was that, but let's go over it once again. So basically I select everything, I do copy and paste. The only problem is that we lose our selection. This is actually like a bug from Houdini 20, and in the previous version this wasn't happening. And I'm sure this is gonna be fixed at some point. Maybe Houdini side, or maybe Alexa is gonna do a fix like he usually does. But for now, what I do, and I went a little bit too fast there, I just copy and paste. And since we lose our selection and there is one object on top of the other, right? Since there is one object on top of the other, what I will do is Shift H to do basically select connected. And if I do click, I'm going to select one of those two that is on top of each other, and then I just move it. Let's see if I do it correctly here. Okay, like that. Yeah, devil is in the details. Now maybe we can make this guy smaller as well. Okay, okay, that's really weird. I think that is because we have symmetry turned on. Okay, yeah, that was definitely it. I think it was getting confused. So yeah, actually, why don't we take a chance to detail this just a little bit, since this is the blockout. I don't want to spend too much time on details, but we should, let me switch the monitor. I always make this mistake actually. Sorry once again. This is why I placed this screen on the monitor in this screen anyway. So in case I ever forget to switch, at least we have something there. So anyways, um, let's look for go back to PRF because for a second I want to take a look at maybe some detail in the spine that I like. See if we can get inspired by anything that is rotating on the back, just to get a reference. I don't know if I said this before, but I have actually, I think this one's too big, even though I really like this design. But we can definitely take something from here. Maybe a detail like this. So this guy goes basically like we do some edge loop here. We're gonna do some more here, and let me select this loop and bevel it. So basically I do these guys, and let's do an extrusion. Right, maybe so, oh, that's good. Let me select this whole thing and increase the selection, move it to the side, or better yet, let's tweak it. Let's tweak it. This. So basically using the tweak tool is a faster way of moving things. If we still need to, need to use the transform if we need to scale or rotate. Transforming is it's incredible actually. So we can set this thing like this. If we have an edge loop like this, I can do Shift H. Shift H. The name of that function will be basically Shift H will be select connected. Yeah, I cannot find it here, but yeah, I just wanted for you guys to know the name. Oh, there it is. It's called flood fill. Basically, it's gonna fill the selection. And if you don't have anything selected, Jesus. If you don't have anything selected, it's just going to select the whole thing. So now we can extrude this guy in. You can do something like that, and yeah, that should be it actually. And since we did this, maybe we can do this thing as on top as well. So let me just copy, paste. This is a good opportunity to remind you guys of what I did when I had the other screen up. So Shift H, select, and I select one of the two copies, and then I do A for tweak, and I move it up using the middle mouse, so it's constrained to only one axis. Okay, and that's basically it. I think we need one more of this, but since it's going to be inside, it's not a big deal, because maybe we're going to put something inside that's going to block everything else. But yeah, okay, so now we're back to the hip example. This is off stream, so I was thinking of putting maybe something like this, or maybe we can make a new one. So let's throw a new Q-sphere. We move it up. The only problem being is, if you guys notice, we're not getting the mirror working. So we will have to go back to our notes, but that's not a big deal, right? Okay, so we definitely need to do some redesign in the leg to accommodate this joint. So, but in the meantime, when I put this here and, oh, okay, before doing anything else, because I was about to throw in a new node, before doing that, I will just increase the geometry by 1. Yeah, by 1. Just in case. Okay, so we have that, and now I can select everything. I can also press the N key, by the way, and this is a default Houdini shortcut. Do a color, random color, and in case it wasn't obvious, I have my own set of shortcuts for modeler. I'm not saying mine are better, but since I come from other modeling programs, I just switch some of them just to make it easier for me to use modeler. But yeah, that's basically the reason why I have different shortcuts. Maybe I can share that at some point, but I don't think it's necessary. As long as you have a shortcut for the things that you use the most, that's good, no matter where they are. So maybe why don't we choose a better color? Okay, let's fix this panel right here. There's definitely a lot of setup involved in these streams that I need to do beforehand. Let me just respawn the command. Okay, now that we're definitely okay. There seems to be a problem. This is one of the reasons why I still use the nodes. And okay, this is definitely a problem. For some reason, we were selecting the mirror setup, but it's okay now. So now I should be able to do it like this, and that's it. That's good. Okay, let's desaturate it, and okay, let's skip it like that. And why don't we delete this node? And yeah, that's it. Hide the stalwarts, and yeah. I was thinking making the arms actually shorter, because I think the forearm is really long. We can definitely do that, but maybe I'm gonna leave that for last, since actually the arm setup is a bit more complicated. So I still need to remember what I did there just to be able to edit it, but we can definitely start working on the hip, because the arms are definitely too big, I think, right now. Maybe it's the legs that are shorter, just a little bit shorter, I think. I think the arms are fine. If I look at my arm, it seems to be about right. Maybe it is indeed the legs that are a bit shorter. Let me see where the actual floor is. No, we have been doing a decent job at putting this guy where it should be. And actually, I just remember why the proportions aren't that bad. It's because before we were using a model for reference. Yeah. Actually, maybe the torso can be a little smaller. We can place the hip a little bit up. But yeah, the arms are definitely too large. So we can do all of that today. I'm good with the head length, even though it's not as tall, since the model is going to have a helmet anyway. But yeah, definitely the arms are definitely too long. Just basically this section minus this section, the length minus this section, and right. I think the length of the forearm is good, but definitely the joint is too big. Even though it looks good, I think it's too big. with this whole section. We don't need this. Although I think what I was thinking was that the arms can be replaced, so this is like a socket. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So maybe we just do this a little bit shorter. This section right here doesn't need to be as big, or as thick, I should say. But yeah, we're gonna do that maybe for last. Right now, let me turn this off and let's keep going with the hip, shall we? It's like, are we going to do the hip or not? Okay, so let me come here and select everything. I mean, we can also do double click. We don't have to do Shift H. Just double click. I think that's more natural. And yeah. Let me see if I can try something here. These are two separate objects, or this is only one object. If I move this down, okay. If I delete this guy, okay. Because I want to get into this section, but it's kind of difficult with this one. But okay, so maybe let's choose. Going to select these guys, and maybe we can bring them a little bit down, especially this section right here. So when you see me select loops like this, maybe not even loops, but straight lines, the shortcut that I do is this one right here. I just hold A. But if you hold A, it's going to drop the previous selection. So if you do Shift A, it adds it up all together. And now I do tweak down. And maybe now we can move the whole thing up. Remember to use the tweak tool. We just use the middle key and move it all up. Just like that. Maybe this thing is actually, and maybe we can make it even smaller. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay, I think this guy is giving us some trouble. Maybe we can get rid of it and slide this one with S. Although I think I much rather use the name of the tool since my shortcuts are different anyway. So it's better to just say the name of the tool that I'm using. Okay, so maybe let's fix this right here. It's better. And we need to move this guy down like this, and I select this, and we do a tweak down there. And we're missing this guy. It's another thing we can use now. Now it looks a bit too big, but we are going to figure it out. Okay, so another thing that we can do is we can put this. Anyway, another thing that we can do is to ghost the others. So now it becomes a bit easier to do this. Maybe we don't need to do that. Let me tweak this up. So it's okay for the hips to be like this, but maybe it's not okay to, let's orient the topology a bit better so that it makes more sense, and maybe they don't need to be as big. Maybe they need to be as big as, you know, this. Now we tweak it into place. Still need to get used to always use the tweak tool. And since I spent a few days without modeling, now I'm starting to pick up the old habits again. But it's just a matter of, you know, being mindful. And don't forget to use what we said we will use. Okay, so I don't want to focus on this section too much since it's inside. And maybe we can already add some detail here and just push it in. Or I should say tweak it in. Since we are using the tweak tool, now let me select this edge loop. Let me add one more. And just tweak it in. Maybe we do it again like this. Now we're making some space for this guy. Maybe we can push this guy in. There is one thing that I think I do need to mention. Oh, sorry. This is gonna be a bit harder. So maybe we just select the two points and we go for the connect tool, which is this Shift X. So we connect the dots. Yeah, that's definitely handier. We can get rid of this one in the meantime and just do it like this. There is another thing that I want to do. Maybe since this piece is giving me so much trouble to select it, there's one thing that I can do. And if it wasn't obvious, if you notice, I really like to keep my objects all spread out. What I don't like to do is to have one massive sub with everything in. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like to do, because for managing objects like this, working in object level is better. I think it's faster. But when I use Houdini for other things like, you know, procedural modeling or other operations, more standard Houdini stuff, I do like to keep almost everything in only one sub, you know. It's just that for modeling, for making objects, it's better to do it like this. The only problem is when you are selecting different pieces, you need to like think a little bit differently. So Modeler actually has a shortcut to select in between the objects, but if you use spacebar, you can switch between each one. But there is a problem. This works much faster when you are using it inside one subnode. When you have several objects inside one sub. But if you have several, let's say you have several components inside one subnode, but if you have several objects, then a spacebar is a bit slow. So what I do instead is to use object selection, which is this guy that I have it mapped to 5. And this is the one thing that you see me do all the time. I just 5, 5, 5, 5. I just press it once, and then I select the object. And it's really fast. Then if I press 3, 3 will be polygon selection. I get inside the object. So it's basically 5, click 3, or 2 or 1, depending of the thing that you want to select. But usually I start with polygons, and I do it so fast that even if I want to select edges, I just select polygons first, the polygon selection tool first, because of muscle memory. So anyways, so now I'm gonna do 5. I'm gonna go back to the hip, and the reason I said all of that is because I want to extract this piece. So I just do extract, and now we have 2 pieces. See, now I'm using this object selection, and now we have 2 pieces. So yeah, now I choose 5, tree and we're inside this guy. Let me remind you that the extract command is here. And if I were to, let's say I want to merge these two objects, I can do combine, and modeler do something like this, does something like this. And if I want to separate it again, I select the piece and do extract again. Now we have two pieces again. And the key to this is obviously the muscle memory, but also ignoring the nodes. We need to ignore the nodes for now, but we are going to, believe me, arrange all of this in the future. It's just like right now, it doesn't matter since we're probably going to be changing, the number of objects is going to be changing, and so it's better to just ignore it. That's one of the other reasons why I just hide the nodes, because they are getting in the way of our modeling. So let's keep on going. Maybe we can make this just a little bit. Actually, maybe this guy can be a little bit thicker on the inside. We select this guy. We do this, and now we tweak down this guy. We definitely need to add some more resolution here, and maybe tweak this guy up. Tweak this guy up as well, and we need to push this out. So for that, I'm gonna use the pick tool, which is over here, pick. So we pick. We move it out like this. Maybe we do the same thing. Whenever the direction aligns with the normal, using the pick tool is a bit easier. Just a bit, because the tweak tool is, like I said many times, amazing. So let's tweak it out so it doesn't overlap, like this. And let me check the stream just in case it's still on. Okay. Just type a few things there, and yeah. So anyways, let's get back to our modeling. Okay, we have this for the front, and maybe in the back we can have this going down. Okay, there seems to be, okay, can do it like this, and yeah, tweak this one down as well. Now we select the edge, down. There is another potential for optimization, and that is if you don't have anything selected, like I'm doing right now, and if you press the tweak tool, it's gonna move whatever is in front of the mouse. So for example, if I'm on point mode and I do tweak tool, I can move this guy up. But this is the one thing that is being the hardest for me, because I'm so used to selecting stuff, but maybe we can push it a bit further and try to do it like that from now on. So, okay, now I'm doing this, and let me do visible selection only and hide the stalwarts as usual. So we get a minimal setup. Now maybe, just maybe, I want to angle this guy a little bit. So basically, you know, I have been modeling for a while, for a long time actually. And the one thing that I never do is design. So this has been like a good practice for me, because I I have always wanted to do a robot model. Now we're doing it. So maybe I can select this edge, and since it's being misaligned a lot, the one thing we can do is just the flatten tool, and we move to the right, and now we tweak it to the side. So to recap, I use this guy flatten, and then I tweak it to the side. Okay. Now we select this guy, we do this as well, and yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we have made a lot of space for this guy. So maybe we can start to place it a bit better where he should be. And maybe we can switch really quickly to this guy. And for now, I just want to hide everything else. So we go to here and say hide others. Just because I want to maybe tweak this to this. Maybe we can also take this guy to the side. This. You know, one thing about... Okay, forget it. Let me just do this, and basically don't make it so that it doesn't look so squarish. So we can introduce some angle detail. This actually doesn't look too bad. We definitely need more polygons, but we have been keeping this guy very low poly, and for a good reason. We're being more agile, so we don't care too much about the topology at this stage. But the one thing that I haven't been doing is using booleans. So that's one area of practice that I want to get into. So, oh yeah, we can slide this guy down, or maybe we just tweak it down like this. Yeah, and push this guy like this. So now it has more of a proper shape, and maybe you can do the same thing for this dude. Okay, let's ignore that message for now. There's some updates there, but we're not gonna do those yet. And since this edge is really maybe not. You know, the one thing we can do, and it's a bit tricky, this section. So maybe we can just terminate it here. And I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So let me just do this. Oh, but we have this guy here, so maybe yeah, we definitely have some of those situations. We have like a spiral, but since we are not caring about the topology right now, I mean just minimally, because we need to push things around to model. We're ignoring that for now, since probably we're also gonna be doing some quad remesh for some of these pieces. Just not yet. I think it's better if I just delete this guy and don't use it, and just this inside and do something like this. Maybe not so apparent. Now this guy goes in, and we do this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm trying to be as much descriptive as possible, and just not me staring at the screen modeling, only modeling like a maniac. So although I think definitely in a few, maybe in an hour, I'm gonna be in that state, but by that time I'm gonna be, I mean, everything that I wanted to say, I will have already said it. So in the end, I ended up doing this thing. Just couldn't help myself. So now we have at least one cleanish loop, because we still have this this guy here bothering us, but we can choose it up. Maybe we can make space for this guy and I promise I know what I'm doing. Maybe. So let's just do this. And now we have a quad here, even though it's really ugly. But maybe I can come here and bevel this guy. Now we get this. And the whole reason why I'm doing this is because I want to give the leg some thickness. Because actually in the design, this piece is like a shell piece. There's gonna be stuff inside of this guy. So let me see what this edge is doing. If I have this guy here, and we can get rid of these two guys. Be safe. Let's leave that like that for now. So let me clean these guys here, just delete them. Maybe we don't need this guy. Okay, we definitely do. So let me choose, instead of doing that, I'm going to do it here, and that's better. We're almost there. Can run one of these guys like this. Okay. I also wanted to say that all the tools that I use are here, so you can see which ones I'm using all the time. And just let me see if I can make this bigger actually, so it's better for the stream. Oh, it's already on the larger size, so I'm sorry. But if I could, I would make that one bigger. But I can't. So okay, so maybe it's time to give this guy some thickness, but for that I want to be more in context with the whole model. So let's ghost this, and yeah, this is definitely helpful. So let me see. Okay, we definitely need to have a loop here. Another thing that we need is to maybe push this guy to the front like this. Let me tweak it to this direction like this, so that this transition makes a bit more sense. Let me tweak this guy out. Maybe slide this one a little bit, and let me switch to the pen tool so that sliding points, it's much more, it's easier. It's easier if you use the tweak tool, but now we're gonna use the pen tool, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tweak this guy out. This. Okay. We can better define this shape like this. Okay. So we can connect these two guys. I couldn't help myself there. And now we tweak these guys down. Well, not really tweak them down. Now we're tweaking them down. Wasn't activating the tool there. Actually, yeah, we can definitely do that detail here. Like it's a a nice edge. Okay, let me drop that selection so that we can do the tweak tool like this. Yeah. Maybe this, guys, goes here, and we do this like this. We delete this guy. So we have a loop like this, and we get rid of this guy as well, and we almost got it. But for now, I think this is more than enough. We definitely need some more geometry here. But this section right now, it's looking nice. I want to push this out. Maybe tweak this in. Still need to take this out. So it's like I don't know the word to describe that actually. It's like a knife. Like a really well-defined profile. Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks definitely taking shape here. You can help it a little bit more. So let's tweak this in. Same thing with this dot. And let's do the same thing here. Right now I'm only using tweak tool to move the points. This one out like this. I think it's getting too extreme, but we can tweak that later. Right now I just want to make I just want this detail to be clear. And I think we can finally do what we say we will, which is maybe let's first do this and then we do this. Yeah. Maybe not the whole thing, but for now I'm gonna keep it like that. And for this thing to look proper, we delete this and these three guys. I Shift A to select the whole row. Now we flatten this down like this and tweak it a bit up. Nice. Okay. So maybe I can focus a little bit on this piece so we hide everything else. Next, I want to flatten some of these elements, like let's say from here to here. So you do flatten, which for me is Shift N. Flatten is over here somewhere, I think. No, it's here. So we flatten and now to the other side, and maybe we can do the same thing here. We could use the tweak, the quick pivot to align this. So, and you do quick pivot like this. Let me see if I can, or excuse me, maybe we can just switch the handle to world space, and it seems like it's not letting me snap it. Okay, maybe doing something wrong, but let's go back to component, and yeah, the snapping is not working right now. I don't know why, but doesn't matter. So let's keep component and we tweak it to the side, and oh yeah, I think think the plugin is a bit confused right now. That's what's happening. I don't know why, but doesn't matter. We have plenty of tools that we can use to work around that. So anyways, we got this, and let me see something here real quick. Okay, let me select this, and so we make this a bit clear. Okay, and let's follow this profile a little bit better. This is gonna look ugly if we subdivide it, but maybe let's see how it looks. Yeah, we definitely need to crease this, but it's this edge, the one that I have been working really hard on. So let's bevel this real quick just to see if it's working. It's gonna be really quick bevel because we're still not ready to be beveling this. But oh yeah. If I look at now, I think it's really, this is really a long fight. So you can definitely make it smaller. We're gonna do just that once we goes the other objects, and we maybe, you know what, we can do we can use a different tool right now so that we keep it a little bit buried. Let me see if I do, maybe we can rotate this before using that tool. But I'm thinking we could use a lattice instead of just a plain transform, just to make it a bit more fun. Yeah. So let me first, let me fix a little bit this topology. Like I said previously, we definitely don't want to be spending that much time with it, but at the same time, okay, here maybe the one thing we can do is just to convert it to points with this guy right here, 2 points, and I just push it down, but I use the mouse wheel. Maybe, okay, it wasn't recognizing it, but I can use the mouse wheel to, oh yeah, I know why. So I'm sorry, let me do that again. I was using the tweak tool, but the tweak tool doesn't use soft range, soft radius, but this one does, so now it's working. So I wanted to get something like this. Okay. And maybe just rotate it this. Maybe not. Actually, we can make this whole thing straight. So I can come here and do this, and then we flatten this to this side, so it looks a bit more squarish, and we push this guy a little bit in, but we turn off visible selection, and now we do this. The whole reason why I'm doing this is that maybe it looks a bit more blocky. It's looking like it's a skinny far or something, but like this, or maybe it's not such a bad idea to do it like that. Maybe we can keep it straight. Let me take a look at references. Just, you know, everyone is definitely, oh, not everyone. not looking at all the images at the same time, but everyone is more or less doing a straight design. They're not giving so much variation to the shape of the tie. So let me show you guys this one real quick. I'm looking at these references. I think these ones are real good for the inside of the tie. But for now, I wasn't actually following any reference for the tie right now. As you can see, these ones are really straight. It's basically like a block with a couple of shells. Okay, maybe this guy. Okay, we definitely have some more detail here. And actually, I really like this reference, actually. So maybe we can take a few pointers here. Okay, let me select these guys and maybe push it up. I'll select this and push it up as well. Like this. And I can see that maybe I can select these guys and tweak them down, down. I can also level these guys. If I do flatten, it's really quick. So I'm gonna do that. And maybe I can do it, maybe not for this section, but or maybe for this section, except this one. Do this. Now these are leveled. And this guy, I can move it like this, just a little bit. Same thing for this. Okay. So forget about the topology. In a second, okay. So that's the only bad thing. Well, not the only bad thing, but that's definitely a bad thing about working with poly modeling. Is like you can't escape topology. So sometimes it's really hard to control oneself. So let me choose, make sure these are all straight. Because right now, okay, maybe we can do it just like this instead of having a profile right now. So, okay, all of these guys, and we flatten to this side, and then we do it like this. Now, this technique is a bit fancy. It took me a while to get used to it, I must say. So, if you are trying to do this and it's not working, just have a little patience because it takes a while for it to, how should I say, it takes a while for it to click. Okay, so let me go like this. Actually, there is one, we got to switch the spring again, but there is actually one key piece of reference that I would like to follow, get a bit inspired by, and that is Jesus. Okay, I don't think I have it here, but okay, I do. Here it is. But I think I'm missing some key ones. Okay, because I cannot see the legs properly here. There's this one right here, but give me a second because I have those images somewhere. Now I'm looking at the Another folder that I have with images, and almost there. Let's see. I have one from the front. I think this one should do. Put this one here. So this detail right here, I definitely like this. So we can get a little bit spark by it. So basically, I mean, we can solve this really easy with only the tweak tool. So let's make a little practice here. So right now I'm in the front. Let me put this up so it's aligned, it's better aligned. So like this, and we want this to follow a curve like this. So I deselect everything, I'm in point mode, and now I'm gonna use only the tweak to make that pattern happen. So we're only modeling right now in the orthographic view, only using tweak. So maybe now I'm going to switch to polygons and just tweak these guys. Now edges, and let's just hope that once we switch to the model, it's not too horrible. It's not all messed up. So something like this, and now points, and we do this. I don't know what to make of this section right now, but switch to first. Let's go and make this flat shaded. Then you can do this as well here, shading, flat shaded. Then we come back here and center these guys, and we take a look, and it doesn't seem like it's broken. And I'm thinking maybe we can just slide this guy like this for now. Oops. And we tweak it out like this, and this one as well like this, and I think that's it. It's not too bad. I mean, we're left with this blank side, but maybe we can compensate with this. We can move it. Oh yeah, I think that's it. Select this guy and move it out. Same thing here. And we're losing some volume, definitely. Let's do this and see what's up. Now let's tweak these guys. And we don't want to lose that much volume right now. And maybe don't be so... Okay, I think I learned a new thing. If I have 1 point selected and I'm in point mode, if If I use the point selection again, I drop the selection. How that is useful? Because for the tweak tool to work interactively, we need to have nothing selected. So we can drop any selection that we have if we just redo the selection command, if that makes sense. So example, let me save this real quick. If we select something, let's say we select some points, and then I go to point selection mode, we drop the selection. Okay, seems like we did a mistake here, but it's easily fixable. Like this, and now we connect these two guys, and that's it. Okay, so we are definitely getting some volume here. The only problem will be to match everything later. I mean, we don't want to have like 10 different styles in one design. So, but we're still exploring here, even though the model is already taking shape. We're still exploring. Okay, so let me slide these guys like this and do the same thing here. Slide this one out, and yeah. Now I move this guy out, and okay. I know what you're thinking. We should do this. Now we can something like this, and yeah, this section definitely needs some work, but we're gonna focus on that later. It's like this section right here, or maybe this one is too ugly for us to left it like this. So let me delete that so I can find sense in that shape. Okay, now I see the mistake, so we can just do this, and now we tweak it to the side, and now we move it like this, maybe down. Okay, so now we fill it with the fill key, obviously, and yeah. Let me see what happens if I do this. Just a bit curious. What do you guys think? I think that's a bit better. No, maybe not. Because right now we have, I mean, do we have it? Yeah, we have this edge, which I think it's good. We just need to keep it. Okay, I see we have an issue here. Maybe we can insert some extra topology. Now we definitely have something going on. Yeah, at least we have some resemblance of I need to have an alarm every time that I do that, but yeah. You know what, maybe there is a way for there is a way to put a time limit, maybe or maybe not. My hope is that if I ever start to do these streams and there's some people around, they tell me, hey man, switch the stream. But for now, it's only me practicing basically, which is good. This has definitely been really helpful. I'm glad that I started doing this. Okay. So let me do this and this. Okay, so let's not focus on the back too much. Let's keep it hollow like this. And I think we need to flatten this more extremely like this. Okay, maybe not so extremely, but okay. I'm gonna let you, we're gonna use one of those cool tools that I told you we're gonna use. So let me just hide everything else. And since we kind of need some sort of fall off between the top and the bottom, because I definitely want to move this, why don't we use a tool called fall off? So we have a selection, and now we come here and say fall off. We want it to be vertical. We want the max influence to be on the bottom, so we flip it, and now we just move it. As you can see, it's working. It's really nice. Since we still want to move this guy a little bit, maybe I can up the influence of the first point a little bit as well, like this. And that's good. Yeah. Why don't we... I can take all of these guys. Okay, by the way, I can select... I can do the Shift A thing that you have saw me doing a couple of times, and now I can do the loop selection, which it's this right here, loop. So Control 1 for me. Sorry. Control 1 for me, and now we have loop selected. Let me check some messages. Okay, so now I want to do this is called let's say it's edge flow. But as you can see, the profile of the shape got busted. So if we say curvature 0, yeah, curvature 0, I think we're good, or maybe not. It was definitely a bit chunky. Okay, wait, I think I discovered something. Okay, let's do edge flow here. But if I do Control S, okay, never mind. So curvature 0. I think that's good for now. Yeah, it's definitely good. Maybe you can also match this guy with this guy here, and now the snapping is back. And we can also maybe play with these two guys, and we match them together like this. And now we do the same like this, and oops, sorry. Now we just okay, I think that this is it. Give me a second just to slide this up. I need to slide this up as well. I think we're missing one row. Yeah, I mean, if you look at this, there's something weird going on here. It's this guy right here. So maybe I'm thinking maybe we can do this, then do that here. Now I select this edge and I slide it down. All right. And I do the same thing here. And, you know, I think we might be up to something. Let me choose. And this guy can be like this. So that we have this loop. Okay, never mind. We can have it like this, and we have this. Let me get rid of all of these guys for a second. And now we have a full loop, which is amazing, but we still need. No, this is one problem that I don't know how to fix. Basically, we need to extend this edge. Maybe there is a tool for that. Let's try to discover it together. Okay, let me just go back, and we have this point. Let's see if we can do something about it. Only reading at this point, but maybe the extend tool also works for points. Only one way to find out, right? So let's do extend, which it's not doing anything, but we can do this. Can put this point here, delete this, and now we can move this guy into place. Okay, so we have this loop, and now I need a loop for this section right here. So like this. I mean, that's it. I mean, it looks really bad, but we have a loop. Let me see if yeah. Yeah, I think this played in our favor. So now we have a loop. Now we have another loop. Now we have this guy. That's good. I mean, that came out almost. That was easy, but actually, topology is not my area of expertise, so I was a bit lucky there. But we got to see it working together. So right now the challenge is also making this make sense. So now we got this one down. We need to do the same thing here. This and this again. You know, that's weird. Now the snapping is not working. That is weird. But it's okay. We can do it by eye. And we can flatten these guys to this side and do the same thing here. So that took a little bit of time, but think it was worth it. Oh, maybe we're not done yet, but I can do a transform here as well. A fall off, sorry. Fall off here. Vertical. We flip it. Now we move it. But we want it linear, not Bezier. Okay. All right. So now we tweak this guy like this, and I think we can drop it for now. Yeah. So we can put something inside of this so it makes a bit more sense. And also, we could also reduce some of the thickness by selecting the whole thing. Maybe we move it a little bit to this side. Now only these guys. This. Okay. Let's try to maintain our profile here. This. More, and I think that's it for now. Yeah. Looks a bit tubular for me. Maybe if it's a bit squarish. Let's leave it like that for now. Let's see the other objects. Just remember we have like a knee piece here, place. So we definitely, and this is the one tool that I was teasing before. We can use, let me check something real quick first. Okay, we're good. We can use the lattice, which I don't think I have ever used in the string. Maybe I did once for the head, but the lattice is one of those awesome tools that we have. And I think I can use it for a couple of, okay. We select these guys and move them a bit down. This one's a bit up, right? We can also move this a bit, oops, it's a bit out, and this one's a bit inside. We can push this one like this and do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. So we keep it like that, maybe not so, okay. We can also choose this side right here. Push these guys out. Yeah. And overall, we can push these guys down. I think, yeah, I can use the tweak tool here. This one's a bit out. And we can push this apart so we make space for round joint. Like this. Maybe these guys also need to come out. This one's on the inside, bit in. I think it's looking too thick, definitely. Also rotate this to the side. It down. Yeah, we need to make more space for this. But yeah, I think that's it for this tool right now. So yeah, it's the tweak tool. So just to drop it, I went to object select and polygon select really quickly. Yeah, this side got a bit distorted, but that's okay. So let's follow on what we said and put something inside of here. So we switch to the, take a look here, second. Let's switch to the reference. This time I am going to remember, I promise. So take a quick look at this. We definitely need to do this. And this design, they have two rotating piece. I also like quite a lot. Although between these two guys, I think this one is more similar to the overall design that we have been following. I mean, definitely, yeah. I think we're going for an in between these two. Sure that that's not the proper way to say it. But anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this and we are gonna do something similar. So let's insert a new Qtube and we do this, Control Shift. Actually, you know, let's not do that and let's do something a bit easier. We just come here and select this row and now we say Qtube and now we have it there. Now we can just zero out the transforms and we put like this, shift, put it into place, and we check that I did switch, and yes, I did. So now we have this. This. You know, since we have several objects, there is one issue that, for example, I cannot select, or at least I don't know how, I cannot select this object and tell it to hide. Cannot hide an object. Hide template nodes, ghost template nodes, shade template nodes, toggle display, toggle viewport markers. Not sure what does that do, but if I say isolate, doesn't do anything. Okay, no, it definitely does, but if I do isolate object, which is what I normally do, is that I hide. Okay, let me see something, because this is a bit. If I say hide out, oh, I know what's happening. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this is simply a limitation. Maybe I can ask Alexei to do something about this, but it's not taking into account. This is the one thing we need. So will be useful, but or maybe I'm confused. Let me just see something like. Okay, no, we're good. Yeah, I think there is a limitation because since we're using a subnet of objects, when we use these commands in object mode, it doesn't take into account the objects inside the subnet. That's, yeah, I was having trouble figuring that out, but now we know. So maybe I can ask Alexei to do something about that. Would be nice if it takes into account the subnet objects as well. Yeah. So if I say hide others, it's gonna hide the objects outside of the subnet. So it's getting confused, but it's mainly because of the subnet of objects. But we need the subnet of objects because we are using this setup for mirroring, which is this is outside of the scope of modeler for now. We can do an instance of one object, but we cannot do instances of multiple objects at the same time. So this is why I'm doing this, like this hack, so to speak. But yeah, let's not focus on that. Anyways, I know what we could do for now, because the whole problem came out because I want to focus on these two pieces. So we can do what we already discussed first at the beginning of the stream, which is we can combine these two guys. Now I can hide everything else, or maybe even ghost everything else. And we can do it like that. So one thing I think we need is to maybe it bothers me that these guys are not. Yeah. Thing should be straight, right? Like this, and maybe let's see it from the front and maximize this. Switch to like this, and let's see the wireframe flat shaded, and I can better line these guys. Okay. There's another thing that we can do, which is thicken this. I think we are doing it in all the axes. Yeah. Let me switch to the front again. And we can do this like this. We need to be careful, sorry. We need to be careful because now we have single object. But since we already did what we wanted to do, the one thing we can do now is just go back and say extract. Now we switch to object selection, polygon selection, and we're inside this dude, and we're back. So for example, I can come here. Okay, I just noticed one thing, and that we have 12 edges. I like to work in multiples of 8, so it will be 16 for me. I'm gonna show you guys a little hack. So we already have everything, let's say, properly oriented and in the right position. But since I want to increase the resolution to 16 instead of 12, so I can take these 4 points and do a bevel. Now we have 16. Now we do circle. Circle will be here. To circle. I mean, it's snapped a little bit to the side, but I don't think that's too important. And now I can just take this guy and extrude it back down. The normal is flipped, but let's ignore that for now. I can output both sides, and maybe there is an option to flip the normals here, but if there's not, I can flip the normals here, and that's it. Now I can select these two bodies and do a fill, even though we already have polygons, but just to do this. And now I do an extrude followed by an inset. And having that selection on, I do smooth. So smooth should be, we should have smooth somewhere here. Here. Okay, sorry, I think I misclicked something and we lose the selection. But it doesn't matter. Maybe I can show you. Okay, now we're back. Seems there was an issue with a Python state, but we're back. Let me save real quickly and do a smooth, which is here. Now we do param slider, but we want to pin the boundary. We want to pin the boundary, and that's it. So that wasn't an easy fix, but I mean, it wasn't hard either. So we can do a few more details here, like this. Move this whole thing down, tweak it down. Sorry, let me turn it off. Only visible. Okay. Oh, I'm noticing that this is not. Okay, we're missing. This is not fused. But we can do this quickly here. Fuse. I actually have a shortcut now, so let's try and use it. This. Now we definitely have one piece. Let me check. Okay. Maybe 12 was better than 16. Maybe. Let me select all of this and say Control C to copy. And let's go back. Now let me fill these guys and do an inset. Now let's do a smooth. And it seems like we have the same trouble as before, so delete and Control V. Okay, we're back. Okay. Apply to somebody here. Nice. Okay, so let's keep that for now. And maybe we want to make a new piece. Let me see if we can make something interesting here. Let's isolate this guy, hide others. Okay, first let's show all, go inside this guy and hide others. Okay, so basically I want to select half of this guy, copy and paste, Shift H to select the whole thing. We want to change the color. First, let's switch to this really masculine color and do a thickness. Thickness should be somewhere here. Could also do extrude, but in the spirit of trying new tools, let's try the thickness, which is Shift T. I really didn't see that one coming. Although I think if I do, okay, give me a second here. Maximize this and switch to ghost. Yeah, thickness will do both sides. I don't think I can select here one of the sides. So in the end, we're back to only using extrude. Extrude this guy and do output back. Yeah. Now we have something like this. Show all. We come here. Yeah, the viewport is definitely misbehaving a little bit. I just saved, but it froze. I think there is a crash coming. Maybe not. But yeah, Python has definitely been throwing up out some errors. So maybe it's time to refresh Houdini or Modeler. Let me choose. Okay, we're back. Let's see if it works. Coming back here and doing, yeah. Now we hide others and we do this. Now we ghost others. Okay, now it seems like maybe it was my fault. Anyhow, let's see if we can make sense of this. And we got here, and let's extrude this. Not extrude, let's use another tool that I really like. It's called extend, which is basically an extrude, but oh, I lost the selection. I hate when that happens. Extend extend, Shift W for me. Just an extrude with the transform handle. Now we can flatten this up. And we got this. Now I do an edge here, and if we subdivide this, it looks pretty nice. But let me go here and actually, instead of doing this, we can make a circle. Let me delete this and make a circle here as well. You see, I cannot select the loop because the loop is different. So I can select the whole thing. Now, what is that? Now I can select float field. And now I can reduce the selection and we got that section. Or I could have done this. I'm sorry, what is this? Okay, I can do this and now I just select this, guys. That would have been easier. Like this. Okay, but doesn't matter. I don't think this guy is leveled at all. So let's flatten it down. And let's do a loop cut. Bit up and do another one here. This and do that. Never mind that. I think that's good for now. So one more here. Do the polygon thing and do an inset. Let's go over and do a smooth. This. All right. Now we have like a socket. But I want to do something similar to the reference and introduce some detail. So on the front, I could come here and, well, let's extract this shape now. Seems like we're more or less done. So let's extract this shape and focus on it. And let's proceed to I can't select these guys, only half of it. Do this, maybe. Maybe not. Select this, take it down, only this row and take it down. Also, let me circle it. This. Could just flatten it down. Never mind, let me circle it. And select these guys and move them, take them down. This. Maybe only the top section. This, or maybe. Yeah, I think, oh. Yeah, it was coming. So for now, I'm just gonna take a quick break. Okay. We're back now after our little crash. But ready to do a little bit more with this model before we leave. Also noticing that, oh yeah, I think we have a problem here. Check out if the stream is up, because today we had plenty of difficult technical difficulties, but hopefully it's not down, which is not. It's all good. Okay, that's good. Also need to fix this. I mean, let's turn on modeler and start fixing this guy. So let's flatten top this. Let's do the same thing here. Flatten top. Okay, let me see. Okay. So I don't know how this happened, but it's not an issue. Can just do this. I can do the same thing here. Let me do the world position. We're good here. Let's do the same thing here. Let's tweak it up and maybe push it to speak. Okay, seems like this is all messed up because it's no big deal. We can fix it, right? It's not letting me, the Shift A is not quite working. Only selecting doing one operation, so I need to do both. I need to do it 2 times. Oh, but that's okay. So let me select this guy. And you know, we could also choose select this and do set origin. Now we say -C and we say clip, except that is +C. We say clip. Now we only need to fix one side. So I take this guy and I move it, deal with this one. Okay. All right. Okay, this is better. Now we choose, okay, we need to fix it here as well. So let me choose Shift N and then flatten, Shift N for flatten, and then we tweak it down. Next thing we can do is to look the model from the top. Let me see, where is this point? Okay, this is the transition point. This point is okay. Problem with this guy. I mean, not yet, but I bet we're gonna have some trouble when we are subdividing it. Anyhow, choose select these 3 guys and flatten this top. Do the same thing here. I should have done this from the beginning. And yeah, so choose select this. Just do select visible, just not working. I mean, I think it was working. Never mind, I was trying to do something, but it didn't work. So choose deselect this and this as well. And scale this down just like this. Although, you know what, this section doesn't matter too much actually. But what we can do is to fix this issue here as well. Now we can just symmetrize and turn off the symmetry. And also we can reset the origin if we click that button again. And okay, do we still have some issues? Yeah. We can fix this with the pen tool or favorite tool. And that should be it. If I subdivide this, it looks ugly, but we are gonna make it pretty later. Anyways, so now we go to object selection and we got this. You look at this. Now one thing that we can do right now is just make sure these guys are aligned. So we go and ghost others. Now I use the move tool and make sure these guys are aligned. We can help ourselves a little bit if I just move this to the very top. And we make sure this way. Obviously, it's getting a bit hard, so maybe we just combine these two guys and then we say hide others. Now it should be easier. And we can look this from the top. This. And we can just select everything and use the tweak tool. So, yeah, that's right. Maybe this is too thick, but maybe we can keep getting inspired by the other piece and just move this down and select this. Let me use this button right here, select this, and scale this up. Move this, or I should say tweak this up. Scale it. We're only having an issue right now with the number of edges. So because right now we have 16 and here's 24, which if we would have gone with 12, it would be all right, but we didn't. That's not an issue though, because we can always redo this piece after we settle with it. So for now, let me isolate this guy and I can just move this like this, and maybe I can even do this and just pick it out like this. You see? It's a bit easier. You know, it's not perfect, but it's not certainly easier. Now I took this one down and we got something interesting going on. I mean, we need to bevel this and also this guy. Though we shouldn't be beveling right now, but I won't help myself. Maybe let's see how it will look. Yeah, that's good. This one's too much. If I say I and deselect everything, it's looking like this. Now we can just extract this guy. We go back to where we were. Obviously, with this dude, we can do a couple more things. And it's actually a good chance for me to show a trick that I like to do. I can flood fill this guy and copy and paste. Now I can select all of this and move it up. And also select this edge and extend it up. If I subdivide this now, we got this insertion, which is cool, more detail. I'm also thinking we should do this and maybe tweak it down. Maybe we can keep adding levels to this. Let's say I do this guy and extrude this guy out and do a loop here, and then I this guy up, do this, and let's tweak this guy up as well. This is good. We can also do the same thing with this piece. X. Well, before doing that, it's actually handier if I just do the extend before pasting. So I should just do this. Actually, this one doesn't matter. And I paste. Now, okay, we need to tweak it up, but yeah, a bit more detail. Maybe we can, let me see. In the 3D model that we're using for reference has a lot of detail, this section. But we shouldn't be focusing so much on the detail right now. But you know, maybe it's also helpful, like a good change of pace from all the modeling, all the blocking out, I should say. All the blocking out. So it's a nice change of pace. No, I don't like this. The only problem is that it looks like a ArcBiz pillar or something, for now at least. But if we can help it, we can maybe change the color and make this piece, let's say, color. Let's go with that one. Now, this one, I can do this. You guys will have to excuse me because I didn't bring up a parameters panel. I'm gonna do that now. But I wasn't using any parameters panel myself. Just the normal standard shortcuts. Okay, maybe gray, and this one can be whiter. Yeah, something like that. Okay, we need to show all this. Let me save because and reset modeler this time. Maybe that's gonna help. Maybe we can right now. Maybe I can do this and increase the selection size. Yep. Or maybe I only need to select this guy and push it. Oops, push it out like so. This one we can tweak it to this side, and same thing here. Okay, I think I was working on the wrong side. Same thing here. And do the same thing here. And all over the place. Not a fan of this section right now. Okay, I think it's too far away. Let's include this main selection. Undo this. That's better. Let's ignore this section for now. Maybe that's too much. I think this is about right. Yeah. I think we need this piece right now to be a bit more. This section, this side, I should say. And maybe do a copy and paste. Oh, okay. Let's do something real quick. That is to freeze. Now we can copy and paste, can select, and I can tweak it up. This. I think this is starting to make sense. I can copy and paste this, Shift H, I'm sorry, and we tweak it down until we see something like this. And maybe I can scale it down. No, not scale it down, but I can select this and move it this. And of course, I can come here to this piece and move it out, like so. Maybe the whole edge, like so, and yeah, makes sense. Same thing for this guy, and then I can snap it with Alt key selected. Can snap it like that and do the same thing here. We definitely need to start working on the main hip selection, the main hip joint. Because this is like the shell. Okay, let's do it like this and tweak it down. Sometimes I do the transform and I remember about tweak and I switch tools. So that's why you sometimes see the gizmo before me doing a tweak. All right. This is looking ugly. Let's see if I can move this guy down and this one as well. Okay. Select this guy and oops. Okay, let me do this real quick. Let me check something. All right, so now that it's looking more proper, it's become more evident that this torso is too large. So we can select these two guys And actually we can move the whole thing up. Okay, let me see if I can do this in one fell swoop. And I actually want to show you guys how the process will look like. So, okay, let's select all of these objects, which are this. You see, I select them visually on the viewport, and its selection is made of 4 objects, 4 nodes. If I press A, the A key, which is a shortcut for, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know what the name is. But basically, if you select A, the A key, and you see this little icon, you drag it down. You could also drag it to the side or the other side or up, but we are just dragging it down right now. You can see all of these objects, right? And these objects have, if I refresh this, these objects have object transformations. No, who would have thought, right? They have object transformations. The problem is that if I move all of these objects in object mode, let's say I move them up, right? Let's say I do this, right? Now they're not in the same place. They're not in 0 space. Let's say I select this guy and go inside and do a Control-C, Control-V. As you can see, there is an offset when I paste the geometry. It's not pasted on top. So the fix for that is to basically have everything placed always in 0 space. But if you have to make changes and position the objects, you can do it with one little caveat. So let's do what we want to do first. So I select all the objects and do transform, and I bet it's gonna be more comfortable if we center the pivot, right? Now we move it up just like we wanted. With the wedding section, we missed one object, so let me bring it up here, and again center the pivot. And I can see that this object is made of several pieces, so we're gonna do our little trick or extract. So once we do that and we bring this guy in, we push this one to the side. We don't care about this guy. This will be like this section of the robot. Let me save, and again center the pivot. Then we move this up to where it will make sense, which is like here. I suppose this makes sense. Maybe I think that's all right, because we're gonna make the chest bigger anyway. Let me bring up the reference for a second. Although the reference is not even like 100% anatomically correct with a human. It's a little bit different, but still I like this proportion. So as you can see now, the hip makes more sense, as well as the chest. We need to lower it a little bit. So maybe I can select this guy and go inside the node. This piece, actually all of these pieces, there seem to be separate objects. So maybe we can do the same thing and just move them down. Well, especially this guy. So maybe we can do it in like the geometry per se. Now we do the same thing here. Okay. And maybe we can tweak this section, move it down and up, and we move these guys and maybe we rotate them out, and we rotate them, and then I push it out. Okay, that's good. So to where we were, these guys. So the way we fix the problem with the copy and paste, remember, if I come here and select this guy and I do copy and paste, it's going to be offset. And we want to be able to do that because actually copy and pasting is not the only tool that will give you trouble sometimes. Once, if the objects are offset from from the 0 coordinates. So the way we fix that is we select all of the objects in this case because we have several, and we use the freeze transform. So we do that, and now if you see the pivot, forget about the pivot, but as you can see, if I come, okay, let me just check real quick. If we take a look at this, okay, we have, so forget about the thing that I said about the pivot. The pivot doesn't matter where it is. The thing that matters is that the coordinates are 0. So now if I come here and do copy and paste, you see it's in place. So that's good. That's really good. So now we're free to, even though the pivot it's in the correct place where we left it off, now we can do other operations without bugs. And yeah, that's really good. So now we can keep working on the model, and maybe we can move these guys up. Maybe let's try that out a little bit more. Even though I like to work with objects separate, I'm not extremely familiar with the transformations and making parents and all of that. So, and actually we're here to learn, so why don't we try something new? So if I select all of this, I think we can use the quick pivot. The quick pivot for me is T, and I can do T and put it here. And I believe this changes the pivot of the object. So this is extremely useful because now I can rotate the objects based on this guy. Although it's not perfect, the position right now, I can do this. Okay, that's good. Now if I move the objects, you know, that's pretty cool. I should look this way. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so, and again, if we were to move these guys, which we did, let me do this. If we were to move these guys, you need to remember, we need to, what? Freeze the transformation. Okay. So let's do that again. Let me see. So you can see these are the parameters, and let me pin this. And if I do freeze transformation, we shouldn't be, as you see, nothing changed. And that's good. So anyways, let's go back to here. And I'm feeling like maybe, I don't think these proportions are wrong. You know, I basically just learned this trick, well, this workflow in Stream. And now I feel I can do so much more now that I know this. Should stop looking at this side and more to the camera, to you guys. So I will try to do that more often. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Let me fix one more thing with this guy. Although this guy should be back. I don't know why I'm seeing the geometry. Although I know. I think I have something turned on, and that would be in geometry, wire over pack. Yeah, that's that. This is good. This is how it should have been since the beginning. But never mind. Okay. So now I think we can do some more tweaks to this side, right? Although I'm thinking, you know what? Forget it. Okay, let me just make sure. I believe I move these guys again. Okay, so let me just select the whole group and do a freeze transform. Should make a shortcut out of that if I'm gonna keep using it, which I definitely am. So let me take a look at the reference for a second. You know, and this is bad now that I just modeled this piece, but I believe we should follow the same pattern as these joints. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if the legs has a set of joints and then the arm have another set of joints. So that's a bummer. But not in this stream. We're gonna keep this for a while. So for now, let's do something. Let me think I can push, select this guy, select this guy, and now I can do this, and maybe we can flatten this, and maybe the whole group. There's another, let me unpin this, and there is another thing that is really cool that I would love to show you, which is if we do flatten, there is also the auto button, which is gonna take the average of the normals and do a flattening of based on that. It's really cool. Just to prove that if I do a peak right now, it's gonna go towards the direction of that these guys are facing. That's really cool. So now we have that. Maybe I can do this like this and select these guys. I can select this here and inside, and we need to work on this inside section, which I think it's gonna be basically borrowing from it's gonna be borrowing from actually it's not a bad deal if we borrow from this guys. So let me just Shift H, all of these guys, Control C, right? Control B. Oh, as you can see, we have that in here. So let me see if I can select the whole thing, which is the whole object, and do a freeze transform. I hope nothing breaks, which it didn't, which is good. Now I select these guys and I do copy and paste. The only problem is that since it's separate geometry, I need to reselect it again. Now I extract. Now I select. Now we can select all of this or just press End. And we can tweak this down and tweak this to the front. And I think we can figure something here. Okay, so basically we will need a way to, because the legs, I mean, what is the range of motion of a leg? It can move up and down, also to the sides. We can also try it out for ourselves, right? So let me choose, maybe we can do a little experiment here for the sake of the video. We can do this, and let's forget about this section for now. I can come here and extract. Extract will be here, Alt E. Let's try to use that more often. So let's do Alt E again. I'm gonna select this guy and delete it because actually we don't need it. So we have three objects. We got this guy, which we can combine, which combine will be Alt C. That makes sense. And we can do, I can select this and do pick color and select this. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what do you want to do now? Let's select this object and do we can do a quick pivot. So we press T and select. Okay, let me first invoke the transform command and do quick pivot to this section. Okay, let me come back here and we can borrow this. I can maybe borrow only this guy and do a. Actually, I think duplicate exists. What if I do duplicate on an object? Okay, I mean, it's pretty cool. Actually, now I'm even more curious. If I do duplicate, oh. So I have been doing this the wrong way all this time. I should have been using duplicate. I just realized. Okay, so let's do that from now on. So let's Shift H, Control D, and we have our pivot, or transfer gizmo, I should say, but we can also tweak it to the side. Dude, this is amazing. Okay, so back to business. Let's do T for quick pivot and put it in the center. Now we can do this. I can do actually this is a Houdini command, so this will be, let me see if we can find it so I can show you guys the command. Oh geez, I don't even know how to spell that, but it's basically the, I don't know how to say it. Oh, I think I know. It's this. Yeah, this is definitely what it is. Let me find it. I have used the shortcut so much that I don't even know what the command is, but I know it's here. I think it's a snap to pivot. No, forget. No, that's not it. Okay, it's not a snap to pivot. I don't even know what that does, by the way. I hope it didn't break anything. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, align handle and start orientation picking. Okay, so since we have our pivot here and we press that command, I can do this. Now the object should snap here. Obviously it's the wrong direction, but that's easily fixable. And this is awesome, actually. So we can see this from the top, and that will be spacebar 2. And we can maybe adjust the rotation so it matches. Okay, actually we can do this like this, and now we can tweak it. We can tweak it like this. Just realize that the tweak is based on the gizmo. If we do it in object mode, is it? Let me see. Okay, it's a bit confused right now, and I think I know why. Let me see. Align to object. Let me do a 180 here. Let me see if that fixes it. No, it's definitely picking the wrong orientation when it comes to these guys. But that's okay. We don't need to use we don't need to use the tweak mode for moving objects. It's good enough that we can use it for moving polys and points and everything else. So let me fix this real quick because it's bothering me. My OCD is kicking. And maybe just like this whole block and do a shift end like this. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we can also delete these guys. And we can do a bridge connect here. The difference between bridge and bridge connect is that bridge is going to do a normal bridge with parameters for making arcs and rotations and really cool stuff. The problem is that we don't get edges for this, and it doesn't connect. So that's why bridge connected is there. So it's Control H for me, and we get this beautiful thing. That's good. So let's do that and move this to the side. Okay. So if you guys remember, what we are trying to do here is to work on a... Actually, what I want to do is just answer the question, how many joints do I need? Or how many will be enough for this guy? Because I definitely want him to have full range of motion. I don't know if I say this before, but after we're done with the model, lean, and also we're done with the texturing and everything, we're also going to rig this guy. We're gonna rig him. It's gonna be a mechanical rig, and it's gonna be awesome. Although I'm not an expert in KineFX, I know my way around things. So it's gonna be a fun experience once we get to that point. So we definitely want to move this guy like this, right? Or maybe not. Maybe this one is too much. I'm not too sure, but I mean, let's keep it for now. Okay, I think I did a mistake there, so let's do Control D. Oh man, this is good. So Alt E for extraction. Okay, now we go to the object and we move it, but the gizmo is wrong. So what do? We center it, center the pivot, and now we can do this. I can move this up. I can select this guy and move it down. I can also pick both of these guys and Alt C for combined. And it's really important that we change the color so we don't get lost. So we can do pick color. I wonder if it works with... No, it's only work within the same... within the same mesh. That's okay, that's expected. So let's just go to color, and yeah, this is good enough. Okay, so what do we want to do now? We go back to the pivot, and we are in object mode, by the way. We are in object mode. We are not moving polygons right now. We're moving objects. So if I do T for the quick mode, I can put the pivot here. And the pivot mode also have other modes. Quick pivot tool also have other modes. with Control and Shift and Control Shift, which is, let's see, I think the one that we want is to rotate the pivot. So I'm doing T and Shift. I want to rotate to this side, which is exactly what we wanted. Now we got this. So what exactly do we want? We want this thing to rotate here. And this guy is going to be its separate entity, which is Alt E for extraction. And we need to tweak the pivot. That's right. We press T in object mode. So now the object's pivot is here. And we do Shift T to, never mind. Let's see. Object mode. And we do T and then Shift in that order. And we can, actually, I think we need Control Shift for this one. That's right. Okay, that's good. Now I can rotate this guy if I go to object mode. Okay, I think it's not perfect. Okay, so let's try to do it one more time. Put it here. If I do Control and Shift, only... Now I think this calls for T and Shift, and let's focus on, let me see if I can pick up the edge. Is that better? Yeah, I think it is. The only problem is that, okay, is this one gonna be the tricky one? No, I think we're good. I was moving this in the wrong direction. Okay. This is definitely not perfect, but it's good enough for test. Our test. Okay, let me move this guy out. Got this, and I want to do some parenting here. So let's try this. I select all of these objects, and I do the little trick with A here. And we have 4 objects, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And we should be doing, see if we got this pivot, or it should be, okay, there is something important to click here, which is kit position when parenting. Now we can just do something like this. So if I move this guy, now I can move this guy. Oh, I think this, okay, this hierarchy is wrong. So let's go back. Okay, we're good to this point, but it's this way. Okay, all right. So we move this guy. We move this guy, and we move this guy. I'm not sure if the legs need to do that, to be fair. But I quite like to have this. Only because this can open up some other poses, which is gonna be interesting. I think it's this one, the one that is not needed. This guy. I mean, oh, maybe it is. Yeah, we definitely need this guy. We definitely need it. Because if he is about to put his feet really close or really far away, we need this guy. The one that is not needed is this guy right here, but I quite like this one. Actually, this is not a bad shape to have. This looks like a drum, actually. No joke, it looks like a drum. So let's let's do this, and we can have some fun here. I can select the parent of everything. We can do T. Place this guy here. T for quick pivot. Let's remember that. And I can come here and let's No, if I were to try to mirror this guy, it's not gonna be easy. Okay, but I know what we can do. I can just move these guys to the back. Like this. What is this? Okay, I think this is a previous copy that we did, and it didn't came up so good, so we can clean that up. Oh, forget it. Okay, I think this broke. Okay, what moment did this break? Or is it broke? This is not good, definitely. Can we even fix this? Okay, let me see if this is fixable. If I come here and I do this, no, I think we need to first, let me just unparent this for now. I need to come here and select this, tweak this up. Okay, let me see, I'm having some difficulties here. I think there is something wrong with this model. Okay. How about we freeze this guy? I think this is the root of our problems. Okay, now I do a box selection, which is not showing for a reason. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with this guy. Maybe I can't also delete the history, maybe? Let's do one final thing, which is copy everything, make a new note, and paste it here. Okay, so not pasting. So what I'm gonna do is maybe reset modeler. If not, I'm gonna reset the whole thing. So this guy has some problems, and this guy doesn't have. We can come here, select everything, and control duplicate. This seems to be working. I can do an extraction, and we can go find who the other guys are. Here, it's this one. Okay, it is. Move this one here and hide this. Now this one is completely freeze. Okay, now that is working. Okay, so that is how. Let me keep that around just in case. But we just figure out how to fix things in case they break. That wasn't easy, but wasn't too difficult either. So now let's try to fix this thing. Maybe we can do everything from this point. So I can do transform. We can do T, put it here. And obviously we want this guy to face, obviously, we want this guy to face this direction. Obviously, not quite this direction. That's better. Okay, that is better. Okay. So now I can do this. Now we can do that. We can put this into place. I didn't expect to be fixing the arm. But what can we do? Okay, now we move this guy down. And you know, the model also looks like it's skew, but you know, I don't care about it because we are going to be remodeling some of these pieces anyway. But this one is bothering me. So let's quickly isolate this dude and let's fix this weird skewness. If I do this, I think that's mostly going to fix it. Wasn't. Now we just rotate this guy so it aligns with this. Can also pick this guy down like this. And next we can yeah, that's about it for fixing the arm. I think that's about it for now, at least. Let me just quickly go over this guy and do some minor tweaks. That's so bothering me that this is not perfectly circular. Maybe I can select all of these guys. Okay. Can move this like this and like that and like this. Now we can scale that up a little bit. Okay, that's good. I was a bit lucky there. Didn't expect it to work. You know, I'm just thinking I could just do this, and then I can do an extrusion. Sorry, I'm making mistakes. Can do one extrusion, and we get the same thing, but much better. Now we can do a detach here, just to have what we had before. Detach will be this guy, and detach is awesome, let me tell you. You need to do it works with the C parent, the parent slider. Now I do this and this, and we do extend, right? Extend, and we scale it down. We have something there. That's good. Okay. So now it's actually better. So we're good. And about this little thing that I was calling drone, what we can do is, let me see if we can do something here. We can take all of these guys and actually I can take the father, move them up. It's like a drone that is hovering. And we can do this several ways. Let me see if this works actually. If I select several objects, I believe we're gonna get a, I will be negative C. I believe we're gonna get, okay, that didn't work. Never mind. But let me see if I freeze the transformations. Let me see if it's enough. So let me select everything and then I do sim instance. Okay. I think we're about to get it because I was using the wrong command. If I do sim instance, it's definitely X sim instance. All right. But it doesn't take into account the multiple selections. I think I need to do it. Ah, but it's not perfect. Okay, maybe if I select if I reset the origin, now I select everything and do sim instance. No, it's not working. Sadly. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind. There's another way. We can do a subnet here and we can call it drone. And the reason I'm doing this is like, this looks interesting enough for us to make a new shape with this, especially because this sort of joint this one especially, this guy was going to disappear because it didn't make that much sense. I meant the ball. So like this, at least we're keeping up one of the shapes that we work hard to make. But for this to look more proper, I think we need to do some tweaks here before doing any, let's say, before doing any symmetry. Let's do, okay, let's go back to that selection and do a, okay, no, let's not do that. Let's do a extend. Okay, we need to align this guy. We can align it to this here. Do this. Dude, this is amazing. Okay. Do that. Maybe we can do here. Bevel this. You know, we select this and extrude it inside. We come here. I think we do select only visible, select these guys, and we can scale it in. Now we can extrude it inside. We can, now it looks more menacing, definitely. The only problem is that this is looking a bit, this is looking small. But let me see. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, so I can extract these guys like this, and I can ghost others, having this one selected, obviously, like this, because the one thing that I want to do is, let's select, okay, let's select this circle. Now we go for this. Actually, we only need about here. And I select Shift A here. Shift A and middle click, I should say. It's the one, is what we need to do. Now I do, we convert to points like this, and we transform it. We don't tweak it, we just do a transform, but this need to be aligned, so we can align it to this guy like this. Maybe this is getting in the way, so maybe let's hide it, and we can now align it to this guy, ghost to take it back, and now we move it down, but we also scale it down and definitely use the slider on the mouse wheel to influence this. Like let me see if I can show you guys the mouse. It's like you do a transform, and okay, this is like you do this. It's really good. So let me put this back into place. So I do this, and now I can select this edge. Maybe not the whole edge, but oh, you know what? I can delete this guy. Now we don't have that problem anymore. Select this edge, and I can select this one. Same thing here and here. And now, actually, we have the same problem, but now I can align this here and move it down. Like so. And I can scale it out like this and like this. And I think that if we bevel this guy, especially to match this shape, and then we can delete this extra stuff. We can also make it so that it follows something like that, you know. And I mean, I'm definitely having fun with this section right now. So we can select this guy, and we can extrude it out. Like, oh no, let's not do that. But we just lost the selection. But I figure out if we select it like this, it's faster. And we increase the selection size, but we don't want these guys. By the way, the shortcuts are this. Are here. I mean, the commands are here. Grow and shrink. And these are my shortcuts. So now what we can do is to extend it. So we use the extend tool, and we need to align it now. So we can align it to this guy. So let's do quick pivot. We do that, and yeah, perfect. Yeah, I should have done this in the whole model, to be fair. So let's actually do that. And I need to say that this is not the easiest model to model on. Right now, I'm just doing an extrusion over this simple extrusion. And it's definitely not super simple because of the angle, but I think it's good practice, sorry. I think it's good practice to do this. And we can also take this guy and maybe tweak it up. Yeah, the tweak tool, it's definitely not good for this alignment. So you know what? Since we still have, okay, let's see if we can. Okay, we got this guy. We got this guy. So I can select this guy and extract it. I can select these two guys and combine them. Now we got only one dude, and this dude is here. Now we got this, and I'm thinking maybe we could just orient this properly. Why don't we do that? So it's easier to model. Okay, so let's put the pivot here. And let's rotate this until it's facing our way. Maybe we can see it from the side. Although let's not finish that still, but we can just see this and just, let me see it from the top. And like this. Okay. Now we should also move this out of the way. Just a simple center pivot will do. Push this to the side a little bit. We can also, let me see if this is possible. No, I don't think it is. But it will be cool if we could, let's say, move this guy to the center of origin. I think there is a way to do that. Actually, I think there is. If I select the whole loop and I do a align command and I say center. Oh, why that didn't work? Okay, let me see. I can do a center on X. I think there is an offset here, and that's why it's getting confused. Yeah, let me see if I freeze this guy, because this should definitely work. And we do sorry. Let's we freeze this guy. Let's select, and now let's do the align thing again. now we say only in X, but center. Okay, now, but it's possible. That's pretty nice. Sweet. Okay, so this is good. We got this, and can do a couple of things here. I can come here and grow this selection, and we can do a peek inside. Okay, no, let's not do that. We can just move it inside like this, and I can select this object, and I can slide it this so that it's not enough. So maybe I can come here, select this whole thing, and do this. Yeah, that's better. That's better. I mean, we're having some trouble with this guy right now, but maybe we can let me delete this, and oh, let's just do it lightly for now. Let's just do it lightly for now, and just come here and move this guy. Sorry, can come here and just do a quick pivot here and move this guy over here, like so. I can do the same thing here, like this. Maybe I can't. We definitely need to do some variation on this shape because it looks like a giant keyhole actually right now. But that's good for now. So anyways, I can come here, this guy, and do an extend. Extend is Shift W. Do this. Maybe that was too much. So let's go back here and do a flatten down. Actually, what if I do auto? Okay, that's good. Then we pick it out this, and yeah, this is definitely not a line, but it's good enough for now. So I can select this guy, and now I can actually align this. We can do our best to maybe from this perspective, we can do our best to align it. Okay. It's a bit slow, I don't know why. Let me save just in case, then try rescale that once again. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit slow. Maybe it's because of this mess right now, which is actually yeah, this is definitely a bug. So let me restart Houdini. Why don't we do that? So let me just do a quick restart. Let's launch daily Houdini. Let's relaunch that. And okay, we're almost there. We need to realign this. Let's bring up modeler and let's hide this panel and let's do our typical thing, which is steer off, append copy, Alt 3 for the parameters, and rescale this guy like this. Now this is beautiful. And I believe that should have fixed our problem yet. Let me just take a little break here to reply to somebody. Mm. It's down here. Sorry, guys. Should have taken a quick break. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I need to align this guy right now. So let's align this guy, and I'm thinking that we could do some trickery here. I can hide everything else, although I don't think that's gonna work because let me just hide the objects, and I'm gonna come inside this guy. Don't take that out of context, please. So I do this, and I do this. Let me see. We do that, and I'm thinking we could use this edge to align the pivot, which is right here. So now I do T and put it right there. This. Now we show everything else. And from this perspective, we can now align this guy. I'm aware there is an align tool, but I think at least for now, it's faster to do it this way than figure out the tool and then do it. So just for now, I think this solution is faster. But You know, I want to master all of the tools, definitely. But you know, we should go one tool at a time because right now I'm busy practicing. You know, we have made good progress with the tweak mode. I use it almost all the time now. Really happy that that is the case. Okay, so now it's more or less aligned, and we can also come back here and you know, take this so it's perfect. Now we can proceed and okay, let's do a few things. Basically, let's reset the transformation. Let me save this in case let me reset the transforms. Freeze this guy. Now I can go inside and I don't see any weird transformations. Now, even though this object is not aligned, we can do it by force. It's just doing this. Now, we can just flatten it like that by force. I can also delete this just to make things easier for me. I think that's gonna make them easier, not quite sure. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, now we can do the same thing here. Same thing here. This is definitely not ideal, but it's working. Now we can do this. You know what? There is a straighten tool, straighten edges. Let's just do that. Although, you know, I could have just done this. Like this. Now again, do it like this. And I think that's good enough for now. Now we can come back to this guy and Jesus. Do it like this. Yeah. We got something interesting here. Okay. So I think we can come back to our mirror setup and do a drone mirror. I'm gonna take this this guy and Control C, and we come inside this guy and do refresh that because it wasn't working, and just do drone this, that, and yeah, we got our mirror. Okay, I think it's better to have it like this. You know, that definitely looks like something. Maybe just to give it a finishing touch, we come inside this guy and we say ghost others, and we go to here and select all of these guys and do a quick cue box. Now we can make face for a drone. Second here. Okay, so we got this guy, and maybe, you know, I can pick this guy in. I can come here and do duplicate. I'll actually, if I come inside, please don't take that out of context, and do the duplicate inside of here, I can do it much quicker. Okay, now I can delete both of these guys. We can do a simple bevel like this, and maybe edge. Yeah, loop cut. Wait a second. Okay, it's having trouble there. You know, maybe insert, delete this guy. We snap it here and do a small thing like that. Now, actually, we can also do, we could do the same thing here. If I just, select this guy, snap it here. Obviously, we need to do something about this guy. Let's fuse these guys, this, and maybe extrude it down a little bit, and also can slide this up, and we can leave it like that for now. I believe we can. Oh yeah. So let's do like this, and we also build this. And just to, can also move this guy up, this one down, and just to make things better things, if, oh, look at this, this was gonna give us some trouble later. Okay, let me also fuse these guys. That's better. Now we can place it. Let me switch to creating context, and now I do a Q-tube. And you know what? That's exactly where I need it. So we do this, and now I... You know, I'm having trouble deciding how to approach this. And I think it's better to... I'm about to make a decision here. And that is, I think it's always better to have the objects in context, at least for me. Because let me delete this guy, and maybe let's have it penetrate like that. Oops. Okay, never mind. Let's leave that cap on for now. But the thing that I was about to say is that I can always come here and select the objects and then do a combine. And that way I have one object again. I think this guy should be the parent, right? I don't know why we just got the mirror back. That's a good thing. So, because I was about to reset it, just to reset the expression, I meant, just to get it back. But, you know, I need to, let me just go back a second. Because I think, okay, the mirror is definitely working now, but don't tell me I was making this like offset. I was modeling this with an offset all the time. And that's okay, it's just that I wasn't aware that that was the case. So let me look this from the top and try to fix it. Maybe this is gonna be good enough. Okay, so let's go back to the front, and we definitely need to push this back a little. Select this guy, and we just found about a way to make sure this is, sorry, we just found about a way to always make this so that is aligned with the origin. So we just go to the align tool, which is over here somewhere. Here we say only in C this time, and we click center, and of course didn't work. We see why. Obviously, because I was using the wrong axis, I say C for a reason, but in reality it was, let me just execute the tool again, do an aligned, do X, center, okay, we got it. That's good. Man, I am so glad we found about that. Now, let me move this guy. Let me tweak it to the side because maybe move this. Maybe we can move this here and make a giant one in the center. So let me once again do a Q-tube. And I want to increase the columns 24. I also want to put it like that in the center. This, and maybe we can just slide it. I'm thinking we can clip this guy if we do C and we clip it. Okay, maybe I need to reset the origin and do clip. Okay. And I think we just learned a new trick that if I do this, oh, never mind, that didn't work. Maybe if I do this, okay, somehow that makes the expression refresh, which is really good. We don't have to go back to our Frankenstein of a setup. I mean, it's only 3 notes, so it's not fair to call it Frankenstein, but it's definitely not natural if we need to refresh this guy for it to work. I think it looks a bit silly now, like this. Huh. Maybe I can't. First, let me select this guy and extract this. Come back here and let me select these 2 guys and do this. Let me hide them for a second and do this. Then I can select the whole thing, and I'm gonna do, let's not do that, but let's use Extrude Pro and just push it back like this. Just scale it tiny bit. Okay, wait a second, because this definitely should work. Take a look at the, okay, we are at the polypen. I used Extrude Pro, and maybe it's not aligned perfectly. I think it is. Huh. Maybe, okay, never mind. Yeah, I think we just need to scale it just a little bit. A little bit up. Now a little bit like this. Okay. Let's ignore that for now. And yeah, that's it. I can do one of these guys right here, an edge loop, and I mirror these two guys, and I can select this and slide it. Now we got something like this, although I think it's more beneficial if I just do, yeah. Let me just select everything and do a fuse, just in case. And yeah, something happened here. Get rid of these guys. Yeah, I think I definitely make a mistake. Let me see how far I can go. Oh, we need to go back a lot, but doesn't matter. So I can come back here and delete this guy. Now I can do this. Let's redo that, the whole thing. I'm thinking maybe there is a better way to do this. Let me just do it like this. And actually, I think there is a trick we could do. So let me just say we do this. Or maybe we go as far as to make it like this. But we have this selected. This abomination, we have it selected. So what if we do a fuse and we fuse it like crazy? Now I do snap. Now I select, delete this and this. Definitely all of this. Snap this guy like this. Okay. I think this technique have potential. I think it does. We just need to perfect it. But I think there is potential there. Okay, let's just select the whole thing here and slide it. Okay, let's do this and then we do this. And we run through this. We come here and we run an edge through all of this, and I'm not sure why it's not showing. Okay, you know, I think Modeler doesn't like this mesh. I think I have made too many mistakes here for it to like it. Yeah, and I'm not sure about these tubes right now. Also the scale, now it looks massive. So we can definitely tweak that, but let me just select this and do our typical align tool. Align will be here. And now I say center, and this is beautiful. You know, I can take this and do a peak just to extrude out, and now I can come back here and do a Q-tube like this, move it down. I move it down. Let's see. Obviously, the axis is not in the center, so Okay, I made a mistake here, but doesn't matter. Let's just work with, okay, I think the best way to do this will be to let's come inside and maybe we can make this look like a barrel. Four. Now we say X, we can clip it. Now if we, for some reason, come here and do a selection there, setup gets fixed. Now I can come here and do center pivot. Now I can move this guy where I want it. Maybe this guy can transport stuff. Let's see. You know, we can try a different tool. Let's see if it doesn't explode. Okay, I'm getting an error callback whenever I do save. That was weird. Control S. Okay, it's working again. So this is our tube, and we got it here. Let me just freeze it just in case, because what I'm about to do, it's strange. So let me turn this off and do an instance. Let me see if that works. Okay. I click on the instance. Can I move it? Should I center the pivot, or that makes it disappear? So the instance, oops. Okay, I cannot, seems like yeah, it seems like it's not letting me do that. I mean, it's okay, but it would have been cool if I could tweak the pivot. I can do one more. You do something like that. And now move this guy here. If you come here and you tell me this doesn't make sense, I wouldn't have a way to tell you otherwise. Just maybe let's do this like this. Let's go inside a level. Let's do this. Let's move it out. Maybe I can this and scale it up and move it down. Oh yeah. Control 1 for loop. We scale this guy up. Let me just push this one in. So I select the whole thing and I tweak it to this side. We can definitely do one of these, and I can scale this guy up so it's more rounded, and maybe do a bevel, and we can scale this up. I can come here and select the whole thing, and I can actually, for now, just Control C, Control X, Control V, select this guy and do a color. select this guy and do another color. And let's come back here and maybe something like that. And let's do the same thing here. And let's throw in one more and extrude this whole thing out. Like so. Nice. Now we can come here and do this. I can select this thing, fleet fall, fill flood, and do another color. Maybe another color. Maybe. No, and that's good. Okay, so I don't think the instance is working right now, so I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do a transform. So let me select everything like this, and I do a, although, let's see if this works actually. Duplicate. Now, obviously, I need to select everything. So I do duplicate, and you know, it's good that it's a good thing that we have this expression by default because of the thing that I'm about to do. Okay, so we got this, and then I would see with perm slider, I'm supposed, yeah, that's good. I think we're starting to have that problem again. That's a weird bug. But we have 3 copies now. The good thing is that I can come back here, do an output to this guy. See, now I come back here and I can keep modeling. I should be able to keep modeling. Without having the, to an extent. And you know, I'm starting to love this tool, but let's do an align again. I'm definitely making a shortcut now. Right, we do center, dude, amazing. Come back here and do I for, you see? Now we can keep modeling, but we still get the copies. So it's way better than just doing an instance. At least for now, because you know, if we're rendering out this thing and the barrel ends up being 500,000 polys, you want to instance this guy. Well, at least for now, just for visibility, we can do that. So we definitely did a lot today. But I think that's it for this stream. I think. Let me just go back. We even ended up with a weird drone. I definitely need to scale this guy up. But if we scale it up, I will have to modify the joints because it will make sense. But the best thing about this is that we also got to figure out what we want for our joints. And you know, maybe this piece can actually be implemented in the drone. So let me quickly come back here, and I know I said I was leaving, but maybe we can choose a bit more. I can duplicate these guys, and the good thing about the duplicate tool is that I keep my selection. Control X. We go to the drone, Control B. Okay, so now I move these guys to here, and I'm sure we can figure out something. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe this can be one of those cameras, and yeah, I think we got it. Obviously, we need to scale a lot these guys, but you know, if we use the things that we learn, I should be able to place a null here. What are these guys, by the way? Okay, these are the weird things. Maybe I want to delete these guys now. Maybe I want to color this guy, and let me just do some tweaks here, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and maybe this one we can color it red and do. Okay, let's do red. Yeah. And just because I'm getting triggered by this, let's do an align and do X center. For some reason, you know, it's not working. Okay, that fixed it. There's also, okay, we're good now. Don't want to figure out what was happening, but the good thing is that we figure out. So let me just do this. And maybe do a cut here and follow it here. And let's leave it like that for now. Okay, so we got this dude. Let's do the show all. And we were about to maybe put in practice everything we have learned so far, because this guy is looking smaller. What we could do right now, I mean, first we can combine these two guys. Now we got a single object. The next thing we can do is select everything and tweak it just so that it's right in the center. The next thing we can do is, since we still, okay, we need to set up symmetry, and we clip it. Although I think I choose the wrong direction. Okay, let me see if we're doing this right. Let me say X and say clip. Okay, I think I know what's happening. We need to set the origin, reset it, and I do clip. Okay. There is something here that I'm not getting, so let me see why. This is definitely the same model. Okay. Just back here and bring this up. And if I do this, we can see that this is in fact the same model. And yeah. Okay, let's go to the other side and say clip. Okay, I know what's happening. Jesus. Okay, I know what's happening, and I told you guys about this before, that some tools don't work as expected because of the transformations. And since we have transformations, we need to freeze the geometry. And now that it's freeze, this should work. And yeah, it's working as expected, except for let me just I mean, the main problem is that this guy is not aligned properly. But as per usual, we're gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna clip this guy, and now it's good. So check this out. I'm gonna clip it, and now we're gonna do a seam. This, and yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so we got this dude, and we could make this guy smaller, but since we need to make this whole thing bigger anyway, what I'm gonna do is keep position with parenting with these guys, the barrels, and this whole thing I already have the option, so I can select these two guys, and well, first I will have to put the null where it should be. The null should be here, but let's do the operation that I mentioned to you guys, which is align handle, start orientation picking, and I want to put the null here. Now, maybe let's display the null. We can do a circle, right? Let me see. We can do a circle, and we can make it smaller. Now I can select these two guys, put them here, and I can scale up this guy to a point where this starts to look proper, which is about here, I will say. Maybe, you know, it's even smaller because the barrels need to, okay, I think that's perfect. And now we move this guy here like this. Yeah. I'm also thinking we should let me do this. We can tweak in this front face because now it looks like there is a person inside, which it's a self-piloting drone. And maybe I can select this whole row and do our new favorite tool, align, and do it on X and do center. Nice. Okay. All right. Maybe it's not perfect. Okay, I think I know why. So let me just select the whole thing and do center again. Ah, forget it. Let's leave it like that for now. We're leaving anyway. But the one thing that I wanted to do was how we do this, and maybe we can place this guy. Yeah, so this thing somehow is gonna carry barrels for this drone, and you see they're more or less a good size for his hands. And maybe these barrels are really important, and this guy needs to have weapons, something like that. But yeah, we need to make like something to propel this guy in the air. But maybe we're gonna do that after we finish with this guy, because we went on an extremely drastic tangent here. Well, not so much because we already borrowed this, but you see the point. Anyways, so can come. Let's see what happens if I come here and reset the transformations for everything. And it seems like, okay, the barrels. Okay, the barrels didn't like it. These are the barrels, and let's see why. If I come here and maybe let's unparent it, and I do freeze. Okay, this is better, but oh, yeah. It's because of this. We need to connect it. Now it should work. That's beautiful. Okay, so we definitely figure out a few things here. These tools, definitely amazing. And you got to see me having a lot of trouble and fixing a lot of things, but I think it's all worth it. And we ended up using a lot of nodes as well, because you know that most of the time when I'm using Modeler, I just like to focus on the viewport. But this time we unlocked some more power by using the nodes. And that can only be a good thing. Okay, so anyways, all of these guys are, oh, let me just redo this. Let me see. This. Okay, are we? Okay, let me see something here. I thought we freeze these guys. We did. The tube is working now. Okay. Now we have 0 on everything, and I do this, and oh, okay, I see the problem. It's because of this guy already have a position, so is these guys are 0. This is basically 0, by the way. You can see there is no change here. So if I see this, they are gonna borrow some numbers from this guy. I think this is like an offset. Because if I put 0 here, I'm gonna get it. Oh, never mind. It's just work like this. Actually, let's see what happens with that before we leave. So if I come here and select the polys, and I do a Control-C, Control-V, or instead of, well, yeah, let's do Control-C, Control-V, and we select this guy. Yeah, we can see there is no offset, so we can work like this. Okay, so one more technique discovered before we leave. That technique is we can keep using nulls without messing transformations, and as long, I mean the operations of modeler, as long as the original values are 0, which right now they are dirty, but you guys should know that when they look like this, it's because it's basically 0. I think it's a floating error somewhere, or it's not precise enough to set it up as 0, but it's 0, believe me. So anyways, yeah. What about the uniform scale? Okay, yeah, we're definitely borrowing from the null. Now I'm thinking, what if we set this guy to 1? And this rotation, we make them more clean. And I do this. No, not that. Maybe -1. Just so it looks better. And if I unparent it, no, they're still dirty, but at least these numbers are looking better. And now the uniform scale is 0. Now let's make that like that, and yeah, we now have. Okay, now it's obviously need to mirror it, but yeah, at least it can move in this axis, and you can do this. Although it's not oriented perfectly, that's why we're getting that. If I say object, it should be okay. Now it's working. Yeah, so definitely interesting. I'm gonna keep working on that model after we finish with this guy. But yeah, for now, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And I see you on the next stream. Bye.